Hello YouTube, this is our project for today. Won't be even a long video. It's coming loose. So this is what we're going to do. Let's start a little rasp. I'm sure I bought them on Harbor Freight. We're going to use that to... Battery's kind of low, but we're going to grind the fiberglass out and see if we can get the head off. We've tapped on it with a hammer, but we haven't decided how we're going to repair it so it stays on. We may just throw some epoxy on it. We'd hate to drill a hole through it. That would be the time to have a nice wooden handle, because this is my custom-made hatchet head where I thinned it out last winter. And I've abused this. I give this a good rating. This has been a good $15 to $20 hatchet. It just, I beat the living you-know-what out of it. I have abused it. I slammed it into wood that should never been split. I pounded it in with my 3-pound sledgehammer and used this thing with a wood wedge. So it's went through a lot. So it's worth fixing again. So stay tuned. We'll be back when we get this thing apart. Okay, we took our stuff. We probably took a quarter of an inch this off the top down inside the head. Then we went down and made a slot with this. You can see where it's right down about here. There's a piece of fiberglass shaft. And had another one fail the same way. The stuff on the outside of here, which is weird, it's looking kind of like a little clip or something. Don't quote me, but over here you can see to where this piece and right here, the way that's shaped. Like when they put this together, it kind of clicks together, part of it, but it fails in the middle. It's where this all shatters. So we're not going to take too much off it because we're going to fill this full of epoxy. We're going to make a wedge. That's why we did that. We're going to put a wedge in it this time with plenty of epoxy. We just don't want to have to drill through the head and put a pin in it. I think I'd done that the other one. I think I drilled through and put a pin right through this fiberglass piece because it never moved. It stayed in there. Remember, this is plastic, this is fiberglass, and this is some kind of plastic. So, what a mess. We have to clean the head up a little bit where we banged out with a hammer. But it's even got rust. See that? And this has never really been outside. It's used in the shop all the time. But it's going to get moisture on it. We got a few marks with the ball peen hammer we'll have to take out. No biggie. I said I put a lot of time into this head to make it super thin, but it'll be repaired. It'll go another winter or so. Have trouble with that word. Okay, just wanted to see what it looked like. About all I can do now. You won't be able to see. Yeah, you won't be able to see inside once it's epoxy. Just so you know, I'm going to fill all this in. It's just going to be 2-part epoxy, not JB Weld. JB Weld takes too long to dry and cure. I want to slap this together and get it in there and then get a wedge drove in it. So, here we go. We'll take a break. We'll put this thing back together today. Okay, we got all this epoxy together. We got a wedge made for it. We're going to put a bunch of epoxy on there. We're going to put it on there. We got this all cleaned out inside. We're going to drive the wedge in, and then we're going to let it set for a few minutes, and then we'll go ahead and epoxy on top of it, because this is about a 1/4 inch down from the top. So we'll fill the top in. So that'll be like a second batch, but we're going to mix up a pretty big batch. We got our favorite wedge is walnut. Ain't the greatest looking slot, but it'll hold it. We're going for it. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Okay, we are done. We're going to let this epoxy set, and then we'll make a separate video on testing it sometime. So, we'll call this good for now. See a few air bubbles coming up there. It means it's seeping down in there. So, thanks for watching.